What's going on, everybody? Haven't made a video in a while, but that's just because I'm experiencing life and shit like that. See, that's the thing. When you're spiritual and when you're like into astrology and all that shit, you can't just be like some sort of like person that just sits on their ass and motherfucking just believe, like, constantly just like has this prayer belief. Oh, I'm gonna pray to the Lord and everything's gonna be okay kind of energy and everything. Like, yeah, meditation is great. I love to meditate. But the thing is that most of the time we don't meditate on a damn thing, bruh. And this is what I mean, is when we don't meditate on anything and we're just sitting there humming home, trying to create good vibes, positive vibes and stuff like that, we end up wasting our time because we're not directing this energy and this concentration of us emptying our mind. Because that's when you meditate, you're basically taking a shit on a mental level, basically. And you're pissing. You're throwing up. You're releasing something. But it's not physical. It's mental and it's spiritual. So, when you're meditating, and everything I'm about to say is all correlated and everything. When you're meditating, you have to release, and then you have to fill your spirit with what you want to manifest and everything like that. Because when you meditate, you're going to already, because we're antennas, and we attract all sorts of different types of thoughts that have already been accumulated and been pushed out as envelopes in the ethers and everything like that. So we're able to attach ourselves. This is why no matter how hard we try to focus on a positive aspect, we still end up getting toxic thoughts come into our head and everything like that. So when you're meditating, you just gotta, you gotta make sure that you have your intention on the right thing. But that's not what this video is about. Being spiritual and being like awakened means you got to not be a bitch. You can't be a bitch, and it's very broad. Sometimes it could get very broad, but basically, life is hard, bruh. Why do you think it's physical? Why do you think it's hard and solid? Because that's life. Life is hard, bruh. Life, you got to tap into the Taurus, fixed hardness. You got to tap into Virgo, mutable toughness, and Capricorn, creating tough energy and everything. My father's a Capricorn. I know this energy to the motherfucking T. I know what it's like to have to create a new way to be hard in a situation. And I have a Cancer moon and a Pisces rising with Saturn in Pisces, and my sun is in the 12th motherfucking house. You don't think I don't wake up every morning and feel like I don't want to deal with the world and shit like that? I do. I do be feeling that. But see, this is the thing about being awakened. You can't, these are all, when we first start to understand ourselves, we may look at our birth chart and be like for me, oh, I have a moon in Cancer, I'm sensitive. That means you be an excuse to be very sensitive and very passive and sleep all day till 12 o'clock in the morning. Not 12 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, fuck that shit. You know why? Because you're all one big picture, basically. God put this map because when you as a spirit decided to come down here and experience this world, this tough physical world and everything, and create a vision. Sorry about that, y'all. Create a vision, create a fire, create some creativity. You created your motherfucking body from the spirit. So, here's the deal. Since you came here, and sometimes, now if you tap into your soul enough, you'll remember what you was doing when you was actually, creating this picture for yourself to jump in and be like, ooh, I want to experience the world through this lens and everything. Because that's the thing. This world is a whole big-ass video game. Every video game ever imagined came from the whole concept of life and knowing your birth chart and knowing these powers that you have and knowing the weaknesses that you have and knowing the shortcomings you may have. But here's the thing. That's programming. Okay? because as people have taken these concepts and took an astrology and turned it into, oh, Aries is a hard-headed, aggressive motherfucker. Taurus is a pleasure-seeking motherfucker. Gemini is a gossipy motherfucker. No! You got to understand the temperaments. See, this is how you understand how life works and shit like that. Because when you understand it from this lens of understanding these zodiac signs as just different temperaments and shit, then life and all that shit starts to make a whole lot more sense. But the basic aspect and the basic premise of this video is that tough times are important and they matter. And you can't be spiritual sitting up on your ass all motherfucking day not experiencing life. This is why I haven't made a video in the past 10 days and shit like that. Because I actually go out and experience the world and see what seeds have I planted, what energies have I... what energies have I put forth, and what am I doing that can match the as above so below of what the planets are doing right now into what I'm doing in my actual life, aka Venus is in Gemini. So you can't be motherfucking scared and be a bitch because of how you feel, you know what I'm saying, because I don't like talking to people, I don't like communicating with people, it's weird if I don't fucking express how I see the world. No, fuck that shit. Venus and Gemini, you are valuing the temperament of Gemini, which the temperament of Gemini is basically an air element, which is communication, and the modality is mutable. And a mutable sign just means that it can shapeshift into the environment that it's in. So this is why when you see Geminis a lot, this is why they're able to have a lot of friends, because they don't know that they're doing this all the time, but their natural temperament is to adapt to communication and everything like that. And these people will not even get attached to the people that they're communicating with because the Mercury aspect is moving so fast and everything like that. But anyway, this isn't about Gemini. Venus, what I'm saying is when you know these energies and you actually start to participate in them, and the only reason people don't participate in this energy is because their shield, aka their ego, their sun sign is way too motherfucking big. And it surrounds their whole fucking chart. And it surrounds their whole essence. So, one second, y'all. I gotta calm down a little bit. So you have to actually take these energies and you have to actually correlate them into your real life. Like, for example, I have Jupiter in Sagittarius. So Venus is opposing my Jupiter right now. So what happens is that this is a game of volleyball and playing catch and everything like that. You're compromising this is what I mean by that. My experiences and the way I give out my wisdom and my higher knowledge and the way I express to other people the experiences that I've went through in my life is opposing the way the world feels about the Venusian energy of Gemini. People are appreciating communications of all sorts and everything like that, and topics of all sorts. So me, I could put my ego, in this case my Jupiter, my experiences to the side to understand and appreciate how other people are maybe communicating and the ideas that they're coming up with. But then because I put my ego to the side and decided to hear other people, now I can use my Jupiter energy, experiences, and wisdom to give advice and add on and add color and add vision and add movement to the motherfucking air and shit like that. Well, actually the air moves the fire, but what I'm saying is now with the opposite elements of the fire and the air coming together and everything like that, and then the planetary chakras that are happening, which in this case is Jupiter and Venus, experiencing and giving wisdom to what other people appreciate as far as what they think and how they communicate and everything. Like the other day, I don't talk about sports with people, but today I decided to talk about other sports and what people are into as far as sports and shit like that. And this is just mundane aspect, but this is the same energy because it's appreciating other ways of communicating and thinking. So I was appreciating communicating about sports and everything. And when I was little, I actually did play soccer and I swam a little bit in my youth and everything. So I was able to take my experiences, aka soccer and swimming, and since it's in Sagittarius and it's Jupiter, there was color and there was animation because I'm an animated person. There was animation being put forth into what was being talked about and everything. So I could add sarcasm, I could add jokes about what I was going through and everything like that, while still valuing what other people were having to communicate to and everything like that. So this is what I'm saying. You got to participate in these energies if you want to understand how the fuck astrology works and how spirituality works. Now, another thing I want to say is that hard times are the most important times because that's when you really know what you're capable of. That's when you can really find out how strong you are and how worthy you are to be valued in, especially in the eyes of God and everything like that, because God doesn't like weak spirits. God is tired of weak spirits. There's too many weak spirits around us and everything. So, people are soft. People fold at the mere mention of something that goes against their moon sign or their sun sign or their Mercury sign and everything like that. And a lot of times it's just because people don't know themselves. And you don't even have to know astrology to get through these hard times because you just got to believe in yourself also. That's the problem, is that a lot of people don't believe in themselves. So you not believing in yourself, there's nothing to believe in and everything. You're just a walk-in vessel that's empty, that people can fill their own values, fill their own ways of seeing the world, fill their own expectations of you and everything like that. You got to be fulfilled, and you got to fight for something, and you got to live for something. Because on some real shit, if you're not living for something, I hate to sound this way, you're fucking useless. Now that doesn't mean, when I say that, you shouldn't feel bad. You should get up off your ass and change your life. Peace out, y'all.